Give me a few seconds here, folks. We'll get started. All right, looks like we are live. Let me send out the notifications on Twitch. And let's see what we can do here. We're going to go to let's go to share, copy link. All right, Discord. Tell everyone we're live real quick. Good. All right, we're gonna go post to Twitter really quick too as well. All right, all right. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put this in here. Let me go ahead and do this. All right, how many viewers we got in here, folks? We got one watching. Give me a sec. Alrighty, alrighty. So we're gonna take in. To start chatting with us a little bit. All right, everything should be working if I'm right on this. So, where we're gonna start? Okay, 15-minute time frame. Starting off here, we have some trend lines drawn out that I have some alarms set for as of right now. So what we're looking for is actually we need to start lower time frames here. Lower time frames. Okay, looks like we're starting to get somewhat of a cross here with the alligator EMAs as well here on the 15-minute time frame. Money flow is still really choppy. I had someone ask me in the group momentum waves. It looks like we are getting a green dot here to maybe send us up just a little bit tad higher. This would have been a nice long position here on this green trend line break here. Definitely looks like a, that was a nice substantial run up, but maybe about a 1% gain probably could have had out of this. Oh, almost about 2%, so that's pretty good. These green trend line breaks have been pretty nice to play. This one we tried to play last time. We didn't quite get what we wanted. It ended up selling off. And then back here, this would have been a nice one to kind of play off of too as well. Going on into the 20-minute time frame here, let's take a look and see what's happening. If this thing will load up properly. Let's go ahead and reload this. We'll wait for people to start trickling on in here. Let's go to the 20-minute time frame. 20-minute time frame, also starting to see the alligator EMAs maybe start to trickle off towards the other side here just a tad bit, but we are starting to see some price action move back upward. We're seeing a lot of support lines as of right now here on the 20-minute time frame too as well, but if we start to break bearish below these, that's going to be a pretty good indication that we'll maybe come back down and retest that 10.5 area, or come back to this lower purple trend line right at about 10.7 or 10.8, maybe somewhere right around there. Let's go on into the 30-minute time frame, see what's happening. Geez, I don't know why it's being so slow. Probably because it's midday and there's probably a lot of people on too as well, so no worries. Looking here at the, I think that might have been on our 20-minute time frame. No. Let's see where we can find this green trend line break that it's talking about here. Oh, it looks like that's on the 5-minute time frame. We're getting a green trend line break. Also possibly a nice little push to the upside here on the 5-minute as well. So that trend line break, I think, might give us a nice little substantial rally to the upside here. A green dot appearing on the 30-minute time frame. 45-minute, let's see what's going on here. Possibly getting ready for another green dot here pretty soon. The 45-minute did break below this purple triangle here, kind of in like this almost ascending channel here that you can kind of see. Looks like we're trying to maintain support through this channel, but not quite getting exactly what we want. It seems like it's wanting to fall out of the purple trend line channel here too as well. Looks like we got 2 people watching. What's going on, everyone? If y'all have any questions about any charting, let me know what your thoughts are on the market as of right now. Waiting for this thing to load. It's probably because I got the streams running and stuff. It's just being really slow right now, so. All right, come on, let's go. So thanks for the smash and the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. Let's go over here to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, starting to see a red dot here too as well. This is also something to take note of. We already looked at the 45-minute time frame. Yeah, 30-minute time frame had us in that channel, I believe, kind of. Okay, and then our 45. Yeah, starting to maybe push out of that channel. If we go into our hourly chart, we don't see that same channel just yet, but we do see a purple trend line that has been acting as maybe some resistance as of right now, but we broke through it with that green trend line break here, and now we're retesting that same purple trend line to the downside too as well. Money flow starting to round off just a tad bit, so we're going to pay more attention to the blue waves right now, the blue momentum waves, and just kind of go from there. So this is a 1 hour chart. See what's happening here on the 90-minute time frame. Money flow is still kind of tadly rounding off just a tad bit, but looks like we might get another push to the upside, maybe about 11.1. That's a firm possibility. So 11,100 could definitely be in the works. I had called for 11,100 I think ever since this pump here, but we didn't quite get up to 11.1. And then this one, I think we barely got up to 11.1. So You know, we could come back up and retest that 11.1 area, maybe the 11.3. I've heard some other analysis calling for maybe 11.3 too as well. But you know, we're just going to be cautious here because I think that we're still going to probably have a nice substantial pullback, but not until maybe later on for sure. So let's go on into the 2-hour time frame here. Money flow is still looking pretty steady for the most part. We do have a red dot that is appearing on our timeline here on the 2-hour too as well. So that clip down looks pretty significant for the most part. You know, I would think that we're probably maybe just testing the waters of this alligator. If we come back down and retest this, we're going to have to remain pretty cautious through there. Let's go on into our 4-hour. Don't forget, folks, if y'all do want to sign up to become Patreon members as well for the channel, y'all can join us in the Patreon VIP trading group if you'd like to. Links in the description box below. If y'all are also interested in picking up Market Cipher, I have a link in the description box below for Market Cipher as well. Going on into the 4-hour. The 4-hour actually broke a nice little trend line here. This is probably a substantial break too for the most part. So we're going to have to definitely just know that this green trend line break here, which was all the way back up here at that 12K area, you know, could definitely give us a nice little push. We'll probably come back down and retest the trend line as support as of right now, and then maybe make our ways up from there. Looking at the 6-hour time frame, money flow still looking pretty good here, kind of moving to the upside just a tad bit too as well. But you know, as our volume starts to thin out here, especially with money flow, then we're really just going to keep an eye on our blue waves to see what that's going to give us. It looks like we are in a green dot as of right now, but our VWAP is also clipping to the downside too as well. So just something to take note of there, that there could be a little bit more of a sell-off before we continue higher maybe. Going on into the 8-hour time frame, let's take a look here. 8-hour looks like we got a green dot back there, you know, relatively, you know, right there on our RSI. You know, when our RSI is giving us this green indication, that's a good time to start be buying in the market. When it turns red, that's a time that we probably need to start selling. So you know, as of right now, we're still kind of in this buyer's market arena right now, but we could definitely see this RSI start to turn red, and that would give us a good indication that you know, we might start heading the other direction too as well. All right, getting some people trickling on in here. 12-hour time frame also giving us a nice little green dot here. It looks like we probably could see some consolidation, especially with the green dot, but money flow is still looking relatively thin here, not a lot of volume, and we'll have to wait to see exactly how this wants to play out. If we start to get a Christmas tree pattern up here, then I would more than likely feel that we'll have somewhat of a pullback too as well. Let's go on into our 21-hour. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right, taking a look at the 21-hour here. 21-hour did give us a red dot. Our VWAP is clipping back to the upside as of right now, possibly indicating that we could get another little push higher. You can see here that we've had this nice little green candle to the upside here too as well. Let's turn on our all Wells buy and sell signals. Cool. So we got that on there, and then we are also going to turn on the TI sequential. See what's going on here with the 21-hour, and then we'll really start to dive into the higher time frames. I do want to kind of look at these a little bit more. So we are starting to see that we got the blue triangle, which indicates a trend line, a trend reversal, more than likely to continue maybe a bullish type of movement too as well. But we'll have to wait to see how this wants to play out. It could mean that we go back down to the other side. We did have the imperfect 9 here with the TI sequential. Our blue wave is kind of, you know, it still looks like it wants to go up a little bit higher, but if this moves more sideways than anything, then that just means that we're losing momentum with BTC, right? Let's go over here to the 2-day. See what's happening here. We did get our buy signal back here on the 2-day as well. But for right now, you know, I'm still gonna try and remain as cautious as possible. Money flow is kind of thinning out here, but it does look like it's ready to start moving back to the other side, and wanting to stay in that greenish area. A nice little bullish divergence here on the 2-day as well. Blue wave could start moving back to the upside for the most part, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how this wants to play out. No sign of TI sequential. TI sequential is kind of giving us an extended bull count here, so that's also something we need to take note of too. We started that extended bull count way back here at 12K, and now we're still continuing up here. So I still feel that we might have a little bit more power left to continue up a tad bit higher, but whether or not we break through the 12K area, that's going to be pretty big major resistance for us, I would imagine. So we got a big rejection here with our blood diamond here on the 2-day, but now we are starting to trend back upward just a tad bit. So I'm still looking at probably 12K to be pretty big rejection point for us, but we'll have to wait and see. I think given everything that's kind of going on right now, it can't be denied that people are looking at Bitcoin to start purchasing it too as well. Looking at the 3-day here, the 3-day chart's also giving us a green dot down here too as well. So with the buy signal on the 3-day chart, you know, so if this starts to carry, if they start to carry out a little bit more, you know, past our 3-day chart, especially our buy signals, then I'm definitely feeling that this was probably you know, our potential bottom for right now, and we're probably going to make our way back up to that 12K area. So that's more or less what it's looking like here on these higher time frames, especially with some of these buy signals that have been signaled to us as of right now. We had our last buy signal here that shot us all the way up to you know, the 12.5K area. So our 3-day signals, our 3-day buy signals are not to be ignored for sure. Yeah, and this 3-day buy signal back here had a nice little rally to it as well, all the way to 10.5K. And then where do we have our last buy signal was down here. So yeah, this looks pretty good here on the 3-day for the most part. Our money flow is still holding us up pretty heavily for right now, with a green dot here, not crossing too far down below that 0 pivot point, but I think our 3-day chart is definitely telling us that, you know, even if we see some a little bit more of a sell-off or some consolidation, that I think we still might want to head up a little bit higher. No buy signal on the 4-day just yet. Did we have an extended bull count here? We started our extended bull count on the TI sequential here. So we started our extended bull count. As you can see down here, below our candles, we have the 1 and the 2. So that more than likely, this will count all the way to 13, and then we'll have to, you know, see what's going to happen there. Sometimes there's pullbacks within the extended bull counts, but the fact that it's already started its extended bull count, I'm still, you know, wanting to say that we are ready to probably start shooting up a little bit higher too as well. Our last extended bull count here on the 3-day chart, we had the 1-2 extended bull count, but then we just consolidated out sideways. Yeah, so this looks pretty good for the most part on the 3-day chart. It definitely looks like we are ready to probably still continue and rally up a little bit higher. I think that this more than likely just looks kind of like a you know, nice little substantial pullback for a continuation of the bull run, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But you know, we see pullbacks like this whenever we continue our bull runs as well too. And as of right now, we're seeing a nice recovery from the market. So our 2-day already had Heikin-Ashi candles here that are signaling off to us. And then our 5-day chart, let's go back to our 4-day real quick. 4-day chart, another break above our trend line here. You could say that we came back down to retest this green trend line and found a bounce off of it too as well, and continued up from here. So I can see the extended bull count here on the 4-day too as well. It looks like we're going to get a green dot here on the 4-day chart for the most part. So yeah, we're still looking at higher prices probably going on into next week for BTC. That's kind of what it's looking like. We could have a little bit of a pullback, maybe a short scalp that could be played off of if you wanted to try and play it. But this, as we start to zoom out higher on these time frames, it's definitely looking like Bitcoin's ready to still continue. So yeah, while there might be some pullbacks, I think these higher time frames are definitely giving justice towards the bulls for right now. So money flow's still looking pretty good, even here on the 4-day chart as well too. Let's go on into our 5-day chart, see what's happening. 5-day chart possibly going to get another green dot here as well, which would continue our bullish trajectory. We'll have to wait for probably a green candle or a highlighted green. We've already gotten a highlighted green candle here on the 5-day. So this is probably going to be a few more highlighted green candles, and then we'll have our full body green candle after that too as well, to probably continue further to the upside. Let's see if I can turn off this one here. That's giving me all kinds of colors. All right, we'll just leave that on for right now. That's cool. But yeah, I was gonna look at the regular Heikin-Ashi candles, but no big deal. Some of my indicators are covering up the regular Heikin-Ashi candles. It's all good. But these highlighted green candles are basically our signal of the greenish Heikin-Ashi candles that have already turned green. We're just waiting for a few extra candle closes to confirm that. But then this is probably more than likely going to, continue to head to the upside here. And I'm thinking that if we come back around to retest that 12K area, still creep back up to that 12K area, and see what's going to happen around there. All right, everyone. Thanks for those likes. Thanks for the likes. If y'all have any questions right now that y'all want me to review, any charts or anything like that, feel free to ask them in chat. All right, so looking at the 6-day chart, also, yeah, nice little bounce here, possibly getting that green day or that green dot on the 6-day chart too as well. Money flow kind of thinning out here for the most part, but if we continue to get that green dot, I would say that we're probably going to come back up to retest that 12. Has already given us a buy signal. I would say once we start to hit 11.3, 11.5, we'll start to get those buy signals on these higher time frames. And then if we look at the 6-day chart, I'll actually just kind of want to go into the weekly really quick. So the weekly chart, we did have a sell here, and what it's more than likely looking like is that we'll probably have one more week of continuation to the upside, and then more than likely what's going to happen is by the following week, which I guess would be the end of September, it's either going to give us a buy signal, or we're going to continue to capitulate down, maybe see that rejection at 11.5K or 12K, and then maybe continue down from there. So we'll have to wait and see how this wants to play out. But, during these bull market runs, or during the actual bull market, we're going to have sell signals here on the weekly that just indicate, probably liquidity wanting to come back into this market, or exchanges getting liquidity back on their exchanges too as well. So that's pretty normal for the most part that we get that. that we get those sell signals, and then after that it becomes a buy right afterwards too. As you can see here, 2017, right? You know, we had buy sells and then buy continuations right after that too as well. So yeah, I hope all y'all are staying safe out there and doing your proper due diligence. But for the most part, the weekly chart is still looking, you know, pretty nice here. It doesn't look like, especially after this doji candle here, this doji candle, you know, will more than likely want to probably start consolidating out to the side or continue to creep up, you know, back to that 12K area. It definitely looks like people are just wanting to continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin as of right now. We may not get that big pullback that a lot of people are expecting. You know, it could happen after another rejection at 11.5 or 12K. But I'm thinking we're still going to try and creep up here just a tad bit, maybe all the way up to that 11.3, 11.5 area. And then we're going to have to wait to see what happens after that. Going on into the 2-week chart. We do have a buy here on the 2-week chart as well. So I'll have to wait to see how much of a clear direction this is going to give us. The 2-week chart is still looking like money flow is ready to move back into that greenish area. I would buy, I would honestly be buying Bitcoin based on this 2-week chart. It's a pretty nice, you know, chart to look at, especially with gold and silver. Like, if I was to compare this, actually, I want to compare the DXY to see what's kind of happening here. DXY is still kind of like consolidating. It looks like it wants to break through a trend line, but it's still getting doji rejections right at this trend line here too, which could lead to a further sell-off, possibly a red dot that's wanting to appear here on the DXY. And that's kind of what it's looking like, is that we'll probably get that rejection there on the 1-day chart on the DXY. Let's go on into our daily chart and see what's happening here. Have we gotten a rejection already? We already got the rejection on the 1-day chart with the DXY too as well. So that rejection at this trend line here, definitely going to be sending us back down, probably further past our 0 pivot point. And honestly, that's not going to be looking too good for the dollar, which leaves a more bullish taste in my mouth for Bitcoin overall. So yeah, that DXY chart's lining up with our teeter-totter scenario for the DXY to sell off and then Bitcoin continue its uptrend rally. So I did want to take a look at silver and kind of show y'all the comparisons with silver and Bitcoin as of right now too. Let's take a look at silver. Turn off this one here, and we'll turn off SR. And we'll take silver on into the weekly chart, or maybe even into the 2-week chart. Here we go. So money flow on silver started to come down into this reddish territory, and we had that, you know, capitulation happen. This was right around the Corona dump right here, and then we can zoom in just a tad bit here and compare. But money flow on our 2-week chart has been steadily moving back into that greenish area. Right when it turned green, here on the 2-week chart, right when this money flow started to turn green, we saw a substantial rally in silver, almost all the way up to $30, right? On the S&P, man, I don't even really trade the S&P, but last time we looked at it, I'll take a look at it. It looked bearish for the most part, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. We'll take a look at it here and see. Maybe we can compare the DXY on the 2-week chart compared to Bitcoin. But silver looks like it wants to maybe top out as of right now on the 2-week chart. Our 2-week chart here, if Bitcoin decides to turn green on the money flow chart too as well, then I'm gonna probably anticipate Bitcoin wanting to run past 12K this time once our 2-week chart confirms that, which won't be until the end of September going into October, when we maybe start to see our 2-week chart turn into a green money flow. So that's just something to take note of there too. But as soon as this 2-week chart turned green on silver, we had a substantial rally through silver as well. So we'll take a look at the DXY moving forward. I did want to take a look at the monthly chart on silver too as well. It looks like we're getting ready to have money come back into silver too, which obviously leaves a more bullish sentiment in the overall market as well. So let's take a look at the S&P, because that's what who is this? Soap wanted me to look at S&P. All right, so what we got here, let's take a look at the monthly chart. I mean, overall, it looks like it does kind of look like we might be topping out here. Let's go on into the 1 day and just see what's going on here. The 1 day chart, yeah, definitely looks like we still got some more downwards potential for the S&P. This 1 day, blue momentum wave to the downside here, definitely looking like it's wanting to continue further off to the downside, maybe sell off a tad bit more. But honestly, this could start to be more of a decoupling for crypto and the stock market too as well. They're not as correlated as we would have thought here lately. As the S&P starts to sell off, Bitcoin is continuing to run even higher. So it could definitely be a little bit of a mixture of decoupling that's ready to start happening too. So I hope that makes sense. Soap, but the S&P on the 1 day still has some downwards potential. It looks like we've gotten the first bearish count here with the TI. The TI sequential has given us our first bearish 1 count, which would probably indicate that we're just now starting to see a little bit more of a sell-off here, while crypto continues to rally. So all right, cool. Soap, you got that one in. Awesome. Don't forget, everyone, if y'all do want to join us in our private trading group, feel free to find the link in the description box below. You sign up through Patreon, and then once you sign up through Patreon, just give me your Discord username, and I'll give you access to our private category on Discord. So that is available. If y'all want to pick up Market Cipher, I have links in the description box below that you can find how to get a hold of this awesome indicator that we use on this channel. But yeah, other than that, okay, so let's go back. We were looking at the S&P. Let's take a look at gold. I'm kind of interested in what gold is looking like, especially on the daily here. The daily chart, it looks like we are kind of seeing just sideways movement. A nice triangle pattern that's forming here with gold too as well. Let's see if we can kind of draw this out just a tad bit. Maybe something like this. Oh, come on. Here we go. Something like that might be forming out here for gold. But I think that more than likely gold and silver are probably going to move at around the same time too. If we go in here into the weekly chart, I mean, gold's just been on a full-on bull market rally here on the weekly chart too as well. So it doesn't look like gold's wanting to slow down anytime soon. I would imagine that this will more than likely be a bullish break out of here, and that's just my opinion. Obviously not financial advice, but more than likely this money flow is still looking like we want to remain pretty bullish inside of. Yeah, more than likely our blue wave's also kind of moving out to the side here, maybe looking like it's ready to turn back into the green. 4-day chart, 5-day. Yeah, possible green dots that are ready to start occurring here on the gold chart as well too. Let's move back over here to Bitcoin. We'll turn on. I did want to show y'all the DXY one more time, because the DXY, especially here on the daily, is just telling us that we're probably going to come back down on the DXY, which would probably indicate that Bitcoin's still going to continue to run. But we were taking a look at Bitcoin on the higher time frames just to see what we could kind of compare it to. Things are still looking pretty overall bullish right now for the Bitcoin market as well. So I'm thinking that if we come back up to 11.3, 11.5, we might get a rejection from there, but we'll have to see how it wants to play out. Let me see how long we've been going here. If y'all have any questions, folks, feel free to ask them in the chat box. Because other than that, I might go ahead and sign off here pretty soon. Let's see. I think we've been going for a little while now. All right, so if no one has any more questions, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off then. But we'll be back for some more live streaming soon enough. I'll go ahead and leave y'all with this. If y'all want to watch the replay, feel free to watch the replay. I went over some of the lower time frames as well too. But yeah, other than that, it still looks like we are going to probably be rallying a little bit higher with maybe some slight pullbacks every once in a while. But for the most part, let's go into the lower time frames here. I'm going to be keeping my eye on the charts. I'm going to be keeping my Patreon members up to date with what I got going on and things that I'm invested into, such as what altcoins I'm looking at and other things on top of that. If I get into a leverage position or something like that, I let everyone know in my private Patreon page as well too. So yeah, y'all can stay up to date with me on there, or feel free to follow me on the social media platforms that I'm available to as well. If y'all have any questions, just message me on Discord or wherever. Y'all can message me on Twitter if you want to as well. But other than that, folks, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.